Hello, I'm Martin McConnell. I'm the Public Information Officer for Ascension Parish Government, and we have a great program that we want to tell you about right now. In the studio with us, we have Ariana Chowdhury, who is the Regional Coordinator. Hi, Ariana. And Ashley Pelche. She is the Intake Specialist there with SCPDC. Wow, that's a mouthful. South Central Planning and Development Commission. Welcome to Ascension Parish, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about this great program that you're out here talking about.
All right, thank you. It's great to be here on the show with you. Thank you for the opportunity. This is a loan program from HUD. It's a CDBG program for all the businesses, small business owners that were affected by the March and August floods.
But this is not an SBA
No,
program.
no, no,
This
it's
is
not.
This comes from Housing and Urban Development.
Correct. It is
Okay.
nothing related to SBA. It is a HUD program. It is under their Community Development Block Grant Program, which is for economic development in the community. So it has nothing to do with SBA. It's a great program. It's 0% interest loans for 5 years, no payments for the first 6 months. If you pay off without any defaults, you can keep 20% of the loan amount. The loan amounts are from $20,000 to $50,000. In certain cases, they may allow it.
Let's don't make the people do the math now. So
Sure.
if you pay this loan off within the 5-year allotted time, 20% of it you get to keep. You don't
get
have
to
to
keep.
pay back. So if you borrow $50,000, the maximum,
Right.
you borrow up to $50,000 and you pay it back on time without default, you actually pay back only
$40,000. You get to keep.
You keep the 10, and there's zero interest with that.
There's zero interest. The default rates are also pretty lenient. It's 90 days, and since we are also, South Central Planning is going to be underwriting the loans, we stay on top of our borrowers. We give them plenty of advance notice. We keep reminding them so that we don't want to see anybody go into default, so we make sure that nobody does. And if you pay it off within the allocated 5 years or even less, then yes, you're correct. You
So you can pay it off early.
You can pay it off early.
You can turn around and pay it off in a month, 2 months. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's no penalty for paying
Nope.
it early.
There's no penalty for paying it early. And even better, you don't have to make any payments for the first 6 months. So that is your option as well. This is for any of the businesses that were in the 51 parishes that were affected and declared in federal emergency by the governor.
And we want to make this clear, too, that this is for businesses that were affected not only by the August 2016 flood, but by the spring flood, the March floods
Yes.
as well. So that's why it extends to 51 businesses in 51
Correct.
parishes.
It could be, you could have been affected by any or both of the floods. It doesn't really matter. It's as long as you were in the parishes that were affected by the floods.
Now, what do you consider a small business?
It's anybody with 1 to 50 full-time employees.
Okay, so that was in business in any one of these.
That was in
51
business.
parishes.
They don't necessarily have to be open already. They could be planning to open their business. They may not have the money to open it, that kickstart to start up their business. And it doesn't have to necessarily open in the parish they were in. They could open it in some other parish, as long as it's in the 51 parish area.
As long as it is in that affected area.
Correct.
So, is there a deadline, Ashley? When do people apply? Is there something? What's the deadline? What is the latest that people can apply for this?
So they
loan?
have about a month to apply. The last date is,
June 30th.
yes,
So June 30th of 2017 is the last day that you
to
can
get
make
those
an
applications in.
to make an application. How do we apply?
Okay, so there's 5 offices, 3 locally to come in and apply. The first is in Gonzales, and it's at 2010 South Burnside. There's one in Baker, it's 3262 Baker Boulevard, and then in Denham Springs, 115 Maddie Street. If y'all are coming in to apply, you're going to need to bring a few things. So the completed applications, number 1, a proof of gross income, the business development plan, a financial statement, your tax returns for the business and also for the owners, proof of ownership, a business structure, and proof of qualifying loss. So you can find the application online at scpdc.org or you can give us a call at our 1-800 number. It's 1-800-630-3791.
Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to make that public. We're going to go ahead and put that on Channel 21. It will also put it on the parish website for you, so that people can go back to referring to that. Also, this video is going to play on Ascension 21, Channel 21, which is the government access channel, and it will also play on the parish YouTube channel. So we're getting it out there. We're going to put it on our Facebook page and everything. But let's not make people drive down the street and look for street numbers. The Gonzales address. Would you repeat the Gonzales address?
It is 2010 South Burnside. Okay,
and 2010 South Burnside is that right behind the Al Fordish marble? Oh, it's by it's by Bertrand's Pharmacy. I'm looking off camera because former parish president Tommy Martinez is here with us, and Tommy is also playing an integral part in this, and he's using his contacts and his vivaciousness, if you will, to go out and spread the word about this. So it's right across Burnside from Bertrand's Pharmacy, if you're familiar at all with Gonzales. Tell us that phone number again.
It is 1-800-630-3791.
800-630-3791. We're gonna publish all of that and just make sure that everybody knows that. So you mentioned a lot of things, Ashley, in this application, what to do and so forth.
Yes,
and
it's a lot, but
we kind of rattled through it, and
I
don't want people to be afraid or put off by this. I want to make sure that people know you're there to help.
Absolutely.
So
they can find the checklist online at scpdc.org.
All right.
Everything they'll need.
Okay, let's go over that one more time. Can you? I know you got your cheat sheet
there.
Go
slow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they'll need to bring is the completed application.
All right, and the application is online.
It is online.
Or they can pick it up from any one of the local offices.
So that'll be in Gonzales and Baker, also in Denham Springs. Also a proof of gross income, a business development plan.
So that would be a financial statement,
yes,
or an income tax return, or something like that. Okay.
Yes. And then the business development plan, which once they apply,
if somebody doesn't have one, do you have a sample one that they can build one on? Do you offer assistance in putting together? Because if it's a small business with one or two people in it, the chances of them having a business development plan or written down are pretty remote. So
yeah, you're correct.
You can offer assistance with that?
Yes, we can. Actually, let me just elaborate on that. They only need a business development plan if they were closed and haven't reopened yet or are planning to reopen. And if they don't have a business development plan, they can go to the local Small Business Development Center, and they will assist them to develop the business plan. The Small Business Development Center is also working with HUD to help all these small businesses. So.
Okay. Do you have information and contact information on the Small Business Development Center? I can say this. I know they come to Ascension Parish quite a bit to do business seminars, and they always do it through the Ascension Parish Library. So I know the library will have contact information.
They will have that. They are usually at local universities, so they are at Southern, McNeese, LSU, and probably a list of them on their website, but I know for sure they're at Southern. They go through all the local universities.
Okay. So we also mentioned tax returns.
Yeah, financial statements, tax returns. They're going to need tax returns for not only the business but also the business owners. Proof of ownership.
You get that from the Secretary of State?
Yeah. Either that or they will have it for when they incorporated their business, something like that, a resolution and articles of incorporation.
Okay.
Also proof of qualifying loss.
And the loss, it can be, they can bring in their tax returns from 2014, 2015, 2016, so they can show a decrease in revenue. Because one of the big points about this program is not just for businesses that flooded, that actually had inches, feet of water, but also if they lost revenue because
if they were impacted by the flood,
exactly,
whether or not they received water in their place of
exactly
business. If the flood caused them to lose any business, and they can demonstrate that
if
with
they can
their
demonstrate
tax
that,
returns.
They can use the money not just to build back their business, but also for things like wages, salaries, utilities, rent. You know, the list that Ashley mentioned is just a basic list. If they go online, they have the full list on top of that. But if they want to use the money for things like rent, utilities, then we just need to see
Right.
3 months, consecutive months of, yes, for equipment as well. We need to see 3 months of rent checks or utility checks or salary paychecks, something like that.
And this is a 0% interest
Absolutely.
loan. I mean, I've got to ask, what's the catch? When
There
does
is no
when does
catch.
the other
No
shoe drop?
gimmicks.
There is no gimmick.
There are no
There's
gimmicks,
no
no
catch.
catch.
Okay.
This is to help all the businesses in our communities. As I mentioned, it's a CDBG loan, so it's a community development block grant. It's to help communities get back on their feet. No gimmicks, no catches, 0%, 5 years. You pay it all in time. It's only, you get, 20% of the loan is forgiven. The average range for the loans are 20 to 50,000, but for those businesses that qualify, they can go up to 150,000. So do the math.
150,000
Yes.
is, wow. So that's a $30,000 savings if
exactly.
you pay that loan off as agreed in time.
Exactly.
Okay, we said the application process ends on June 30th. That is the
Correct.
last day to get your application in, but then how long does it normally take once you've started the application process and you've turned in all of the paperwork, all of the information that you need? How long before you get your check?
Well, the first loans, and we actually have had 3 or 4 applicants come in already, and one gentleman has turned in his complete application as of yesterday. So he should be, if all his paperwork's in order, our underwriters are going to look at it. If that's the case, then he should get his check by July 17th, is when they will start issuing the first checks.
That's great.
It is.
This is really a good program. I want to thank you so much for coming here and telling us about this. As I said earlier, former Parish President Tommy Martinez is the guy who brought you here, brought you into President Kenny Matasic, and he said, "Yeah, let's get
Right.
this information out there as best we can." Is there anything else that everyone needs to know, or any final words of wisdom or parting information?
Well, let's put it in blinky lights. 0% loans, no gimmicks. Just contact South Central Planning and Development Commission. Or you can contact Tommy Martinez if you want further information.
We're going to take the pressure off of Tommy. We're going to just direct people to your Burnside Avenue or your Baker or your Denham Springs addresses, or they can call that 800-630-3791 toll-free number. This is a wonderful program. I thank you, the South Central Planning and Development Commission, Ariana Chowdhury, the Regional Coordinator, Ashley Peltier, who is the Intake Specialist. Thanks so much for being here. If you have more questions about that, please call the number that we're going to be publishing, or you can always call Ascension Parish Government, and we're very pleased and happy to be able to present this great information to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.